There's a certain silence that only exists when you're home alone. The kind that makes every creak sound sharper, every shadow seem deeper. But in a brand new house, freshly painted and supposedly safe, what happens when that silence starts watching you back? These are 3 terrifying true stories of people who were completely alone, except they weren't.
In 2022, Emily moved into her brand new condo just outside Seattle. It was her first time living alone, and the sleek, modern design made her feel safe. There was nothing eerie about the place, not until her sliding glass door started opening by itself. It began the second week. She'd close and lock the door to the patio before bed, only to wake up with it open again. At first, she blamed herself. Maybe she was just forgetful. But then she checked her security cam footage. At exactly 2:17 a.m., the door slid open on its own. No one there, no wind, no animals. Just a slow, steady movement, like someone was pulling it from the inside. Emily didn't sleep that night. One night, she sat in the living room after locking everything. The house was silent until she heard it, a whisper, just behind the curtain. "I was never let out." She pulled the curtain open. Nothing there. Emily contacted the builder, who nervously admitted that during construction, a worker had fallen while installing that very door, died instantly. Work was paused for weeks. Some claimed they still heard him breathing through the glass when alone. On her final night in the condo, she locked every door and window, double-checked. At 2:17 a.m., she awoke to the sound of the door sliding open and a cold breeze rushing in, etched into the condensation on the inside glass. Still here. She sold the unit within a month.
In early 2023, Jason moved into a freshly built rental home in Phoenix. It was perfect. Modern appliances, high ceilings, and an unused attic he never planned to explore. But on his 3rd night alone, he saw a faint light glowing from the ceiling hatch. He assumed it was a reflection, but when he climbed up to check, the attic had no light fixture, just raw beams and insulation. Still, every few nights, that glow returned, a soft, pale light like a candle. One night, lying on the couch beneath the attic hatch, Jason saw shadows shifting above, pacing slowly. He stayed frozen in place, heart pounding. He lived alone. The attic had no access but that single hatch. Jason finally placed a ladder and climbed up with his phone light. In the dust, he found handprints, small, child-sized, but stretched long and crooked. In the corner, an old burnt matchstick and a melted wax puddle. There had never been a fire. A neighbor mentioned the home was built over land where an old orphanage once stood. In 1904, it burned to the ground with several children never accounted for. Their makeshift dormitory? The attic. That weekend, Jason heard the light buzzing again and footsteps directly over him. He climbed up one last time. Carved into the beams above his head were 4 words: "Don't lock me in." He moved out before the month ended.
Rachel had just moved into her newly constructed smart home in Austin. She was alone that week, her husband out of town. The house was quiet, warm, and still smelled like fresh paint. But the smart screen on the wall lit up at 1:34 a.m. with a call request. The screen said, "Incoming call, local ID blocked." She didn't answer, but the ringing kept going. When it stopped, a voice message was left. Static. Then a low whisper, "I know where you sleep." She contacted tech support the next morning. They said no call was logged in the system, no number, no IP. They checked the panel remotely and found a hardwired mic that had never been in the installation plan. The next night, a knock came from inside the garage. She opened it and found the interior panel glowing again. Another blocked call came through. This time, no voice, just breathing. She hired a private tech inspector who discovered a hidden secondary control board behind the main panel. Inside was a sticky note that read, "Do not reconnect. Shut down after shift 2, Ray." There was no record of any employee named Ray. On her final night alone, the house lights blinked. The panel glowed red. A call came through again. This time, it wasn't blocked. It simply said, "Basement." She didn't have a basement. She moved in with her sister the next day and never returned.